We'll call this meeting to order, February 8th, 2021. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Anson.
Here.
Trustee Doro. Here. Trustee Myers.
Here.
Trustee Wallschlager.
Here.
Trustee Ledke.
Here.
Trustee Connor. President Vanderstel.
Here. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Trustee Wallschlager.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Quiet. At this time, anybody that would like to come up for public comments for items that are not on the agenda? Seeing as there is no one that would like to speak in public comments, we'll go on to our first item, which is a consideration of a motion to approve village board minutes from the January 25th, 2021 meeting and the committee of the whole minutes of January 27th, 2021 meeting.
Also move with an exception on the meeting of the 8th, or 25th. My concern is, if you look at the minutes, it talks about Arrowhead. It says the first item to consider is the annex in the main campus property. Two town islands would require an agreement with the town of Merton and their officials. I think we should, I asked the question, is this going to mean we'll get a border agreement? And I do not want a border agreement, and I would like that notation put in that this does not include a border agreement, anything to do with this agreement. So
adding the word border.
adding the word, we will not do a border agreement for the annexing of Arrowhead property.
I only have to jump in. This is a tough one. While I agree with you, and I also am not for one, in running the meeting, the minutes have to show what we've said. I also am not for a border agreement. Is it allowable to add that, even though it was not specifically stated in that manner? Because I don't want to fudge the meeting minutes.
Let me go back and take a look through, listen to the meeting and see the exact comments, and I'll get that point across that.
Okay.
And I believe he did say border agreement, so if nothing else, we can state that was his question.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then he's not in favor of that.
Okay, and I'm only doing that I do agree with you. My opinion is the same as yours. I don't want to change minutes into something that wasn't said, because then we're
I just
fudging.
want my comments added then.
Oh.
To Mike Myers'
Sure.
comment about not having a border agreement, and your comment is saying, yes, that does not include that.
Sure, I will do the review and modify and send it out to the group.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And obviously, those meeting minutes will also be in this meeting, stating the conversation that just happened. Any others?
I second it.
Oh, it was a second, okay. So we have a motion and a second with those stipulated changes. Anybody else want to add to the minutes? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried, and those changes will be made, and the inclusions will be made to this meeting's minutes as well. The next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to approve the vouchers for payments. If I can get to it, it is the total of $7,237,195.93.
I make a motion to approve the vouchers for $7,237,195.93.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on the vouchers and that amount. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
That motion is carried. The next item we have is considerations of actions related to licenses and permits. First, we have consideration of a motion to approve operators, bartenders licenses. This is for Dawn Morris and Kayla McKay.
Make the motion that we approve the two bartenders' license as read.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those licenses. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is carried. The next Chamber of Commerce, they will sell beer and wine on Saturday, July 24th, 2021. I can also include, I believe, with this, the public dance license application for the Hartland Chamber on the same date, July 24th, the time from 5:30 to 11 p.m. If the motion did separate those, we'll take them separately.
Make a motion, we approve the Hartland Chamber of Commerce beer and wine request and for the temporary beer and wine license.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the temporary Class B beer wine permit for the Hartland Chamber of Commerce on July 24th, 2021. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Then we now have the public dance license application from the Hartland Chamber of Commerce for Saturday, July 24th, 2021 from 5:30 p.m. To 11, I'm sorry, 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the public dance license application for the Hartland Chamber of Commerce for Saturday, July 24th, 2020.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the dance license for July 24th, 2021. Any discussion?
Yes. I'm questioning again the public dance license application. It comes up almost every time that certain organizations have to have a dance license and others don't, so I thought we were eliminating that one. So when Beer Snout and all of that comes forward, they do not get the dance license, yet they have a ban and people dancing.
Right. I don't know if Ryan is on. My understanding, I suppose it doesn't matter what my understanding is because this is open for discussion. Mr. Bailey, can you please provide comment? I know that we have been through this a few times and we've tried to correct it. Please.
Really, I think it's up to the board. I mean, we talked about this last year. I've had this conversation. Don has brought it up a couple times that the tent event doesn't have one or doesn't require one. Beer snobs, but the chamber does. So, I mean, really, it's just a formality of paperwork. Whether we either should do it for all or do it for none.
Well, I guess my question would be, is there some type of a cabaret or dance license that is automatically given or that is automatically had by a tavern or a bar in Hartland? Or do we only ask other groups to get dance licenses?
Groups that come forward that say they're having a dance have been asked to do the dance permit. Other organizations, if there happens to be dancing and we aren't given that information, they may not. So it's something we could look at in our code, see if we can get some clarification.
Okay. So, for my own clarification at this time, I'm going to ask, is the reason that bars or taverns that come forward and have an event or have something at their place of establishment, are they not asked to get a dance license because they already have
Yes.
something that covers it?
Yes, they already
Yeah.
have cabaret.
Okay, so, okay,
Yeah, so, and it's something that's kind of been in our code for a very long time, and maybe it's something that we don't necessarily need there.
Right.
Because it tends to go with a street use permit or some other type of permit. So.
yep. I just wanted to, I guess I want to make sure that it's clear that, while it does sound like we have some stuff to clean up,
Yep, there's other
and it's come up
organizations.
a few times, that it isn't specifically that the chamber has to jump through an extra hoop. It's that because they don't own a bar or aren't a bar establishment or a tavern, that it just, they're asked to get the
Right.
dance license, but it can be looked at.
Right, and really their event is all about the dance, whereas a lot of events, they're not telling us that it's a band and the dance is a focus.
Right,
And maybe there's dancing that's taking place, but again, it's just a fine line, so.
yeah.
We can look at that.
I agree with Trustee Doro, and I really think we need to get this on the agenda to look at it. I would like we've got a motion to second. I would like to ask for an amendment to the motion that includes that this also gets under review at our next meeting and gets put on the agenda to review this situation. So it'd be approval for the Chamber of Commerce in this instance, as the motion was made, with the added language that this be on the next agenda, to review whether we even need to have dance licenses, just because dancing may happen.
Who made the
I did, I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase what he just said, sorry.
It would
So
just,
I'd like to make an amendment to the motion that we review the dance license before moving forwards with the actual, if they need it or not. I don't know if that's, yes.
I didn't
So,
hear it.
so we're making a motion to approve
Approve it.
it now
Approve it.
with an amendment
With
to
an-
review
review it.
future.
Yes.
I'm trying, yep, I'd like to make a, I'd like to have a motion, or make a motion, or if someone else makes it, but have a motion to approve
Right.
the dance license
Yep.
and have it put on the next item, because it pertains to this, have it be put as an item
Agenda item.
on the
Second
next
motion.
village board meeting. Not for this instance, we're approving that,
right.
so that,
Not for
No,
the
I get
chamber,
it's
it.
done.
Do we just need a separate motion for that, maybe? So then we don't tie it into this one and just approve this motion?
We,
And be said and done and then start a new motion for
it could
that?
be done that
I
way.
think that
that
should
would
be
make-
cleaner.
No, we didn't get a second for an amendment. We have a motion on the table to approve the dance license for the Chamber of Commerce.
Correct.
Correct.
So I will call the question, and because we're still on that item in the agenda, if someone wanted to make the motion
Yeah, I
to
guess.
say put it on the next agenda, or I suppose we could actually just ask and say to our wonderful village administrator if it could be put on the next agenda. So however we move forward, but yes, I'm gonna call the question to approve for the chamber for July 24th for the dance license. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Mr. Rhodey?
We will have it on the February 22nd.
To look into dance
We'll take it.
licenses and if, whether it's
Yeah.
necessary and anything that has to do with it.
Right.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a presentation, a conceptual plan for Event Center and Boutique Hotel at 415 West Capitol Drive. This is the Zion Church property. I do, as I've talked with the developer in this situation, this is conceptual plan. If this were to go forward, this would either get nixed now or canceled now. If the board were to say, no, we don't want to move forward with this, or the appropriate action would be to send it on to the plan commission. Obviously, high-level questions are absolutely appropriate, but getting into the extreme details of a project, it would be better if the trustees or myself, I'll be there, but if people went to the plan commission to ask those very pointed, detailed questions. Sir, you have the floor.
Chris Miller, Miller Marriott Construction, 249 Pauline Avenue, Hartland. That's our offices. Our concept is on the Zion Church on West Capitol Drive. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. It currently is there. The church has approached me if I'd be interested in buying the property. We've reached an agreement to buy it. And our concept would be to take the church the way it exists and turn that into an event center. There's currently a school on the back end of it. We would like to demo that part of the church and create a more modern looking product. So there would actually be two different event centers. There would be the church itself, and then there would be the area that we call the school. There's also a house on the property. The house, we would either like to demo that house and replace it most likely with an existing house, and I'll get into some of those details a little bit. We did go back and forth with maybe going with a little boutique hotel on the site, but we just didn't think it was in keeping conceptually right now. But again, these just concept. I don't know if anybody has been given these drawings yet, Tim, or not. Okay. Just to kind of make this a little more relevant to the board. We're over here right now, and I think everybody's familiar where the Zion Church is. And the church is over here. A lot of parking around it. Very well walkable to downtown. We like that concept. Obviously, like the development, the sanctuary of Hartland, the concept of walkability is big, and we like that as a firm. So we like the location of it when they approached us, at the village, and add to the village. This is a conceptual site plan. The existing church is here. We really wouldn't do much to the church other than update the interior of it at this point. It's in good shape. We love the way it looks. It's got a great look from the road, a lot of appeal to it. On the back end here, there is an existing old school. The thought would be that, and you'll see a conceptual rendering of, we didn't want to take from the church, the historical part of the church, and we wanted to create more of a modern look to honor the old look of the church. So the idea would be to remove this here. There's currently a house right about here. There is a existing easement here. The thought right now is this house would come down. We would design a new house, move it forward a little bit. There would be a tuck under garage. There is a garage right here now. And we want to really green this up and create indoor and outdoor spaces for all of the events, okay? I would lick my fingers if I didn't have a mask on it. This is a kind of a rear shot of the church. Let's say you're standing in that back parking lot here. And again, very conceptual. You know, the house is up here. The church stands as it is. You know, there's going to be some work we have to do in the church. We have to bring it up to current codes and create some spaces for, let's say, a bridal shower or things like that. We really want this space to be a little more modern and up to date and not take from this. I envision this space being a little smaller, quainter, smaller get-togethers. There'd be some AV available in there if you want to do a presentation, sales meeting, Christmas, you know, get together. Terrace out here. These are fireplaces anchoring each end to kind of create that indoor-outdoor space. Again, very conceptual at this point. Can't say it's going to look exactly like this. We do want to create an outdoor space as well. This is terrace where people could gather out here. There could be pictures. Really want to create an inviting space that can be anchored by the house as well. And with the house here, create a very kind of welcoming indoor-outdoor space. We want some separation, but not too much. Kind of feel that there could be an event here going on while there's an event in the church, but also that, let's say someone's getting married, they also might be doing something in the school section as well. So the reason I bring the house up now is I look at the house as an addition to the project. We're thinking of it in our heads more of like an Airbnb type of product. We played around with a bunch of different concepts. I don't think we've really settled on that, but we do like the idea of someone being able to rest their head for the night after the event. That's really about it. I'm happy to answer questions or concerns.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
I believe, didn't we separate those into two separate properties? Mike's
I
saying
believe
yes.
that they were.
So it's two separate
Yeah.
properties. Okay. And then that house though is zoned right now residential, correct?
Yes.
And then it would have to be rezoned,
There's going to be a bunch of rezoning.
okay, okay,
For both properties.
okay.
Yeah. I'm not, and I'm a little unclear if it's, the CSM has actually gone through on the property at this point. I know that there was talk with Zion, that's what they approached me on. I'm not positive that CSM is completely finished, but I can definitely dig into that.
I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that, okay. I like it.
Yeah, Chris, great idea.
Good idea.
Thank you.
I think it's gonna be a asset to Hartland, downtown, everything. It's just, yeah, brilliant.
Modernize it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
we're
done.
super excited about it.
So I'd like to make the motion that we move this on to the plan commission.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to send this conceptual plan to the Plan Commission for further review and possible passage. Discussion?
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Kind of
Chris.
thinking, just so, we're kind of thinking by the time we get our ducks in a row, it will be the Plan Commission meeting in April.
Excellent.
We think we're gonna need a month of March to get everything screwed down.
All right.
But I'll reach out to Tim and,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. One thing about that I think is is to just see that there's a chance that we can, keep that church as it is. I think that it's huge for the history of Hartland, and something that benefits the entire community by having people, come in and see our village. That's
It's a great way to-
awesome as
it's a
well.
great attraction piece.
Yep.
It really is.
All right, so now we have we have the first reading for a bill for an ordinance 208-2021, an ordinance amending 46-978 of the Village of Hartland Code of Ordinance regulating signs permitted in all districts without a sign permit.
So this item was brought to our attention. We had some residents reach out and complain about some of the political signs, the length that they were up. Unfortunately, Chief Misko is not able to be at the meeting tonight, so we had an opportunity to take a look at our ordinance and see that we did have some regulations of political signs. However, the League of Municipalities did issue earlier this year kind of a warning that courts have viewed the political signs more of a free speech item than a regulatory item for local governments. So we thought best to get the village attorney involved. The village attorney did review our order. Hector Delamora, village attorney, drafted amendments to our existing sign ordinance. These are the sign ordinance section that does not require permits, and made some updates, some very minor updates to some of the other language, but mostly the focus is on getting out of the regulatory business of how many signs, when they can go up, and when they should go down. The courts have ruled that we do have, as a local government, the ability to regulate the size, and I think that's just to prevent somebody going to the extreme and making, a sign larger than their house or something. I don't know. But the recommendation in front of you, whether you want to take action on it tonight or not, is up to the board, but it is the recommendation of the village attorney based on other communities that they're changing and his interpretation of our codes. So normally the item comes before you, and then you can take action to put it into ordinance form, or you can take action to do the first reading. It would require the normal process of 3 readings for the village board to implement this ordinance, but it's up to you guys whether tonight the board just wants to discuss it, or if they want to give it the first reading is really.
This would be the first reading. This is the first reading. The difficult part with this one is that, how do I say it? Our police officers don't get to choose what they follow and what they don't. So currently in our ordinances, when they receive a call, it's very difficult. They can't just say, well, we're not going to follow up on that. They have to follow up on it. Well, I don't care what side politically someone falls on. Those calls come in on both sides. But I would encourage the board to, since this is the first reading, to allow this to settle in with our, village residents for 2 weeks. And if someone did want to change the rules next week, next meeting, they could do that. I think it'd be an appropriate thing to do to get this squared away and proper legally for our police officers as soon as possible, and for our village. So that first reading is complete, unless anybody has anything that they want to add. The next item we have on the agenda is a second reading of a bill for an ordinance 125-2021, an ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the Village Code pertaining to regular meetings. This is the second reading. No action has to be taken. However, any member is able to speak regarding this issue or make any motion that would be appropriate. There's a few of them. The first one is consideration of a motion to affirm the Park and Recreation Board approval of the use of Nixon Park for the 2021 Hartland Kids Day event on July 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I believe we have a representative from that group that would like to say a few words.
My name is Kelly Yogerst. I am the Recreation Director for Village of Hartland. I'm
Oh,
on
Kelly.
Zoom, sorry not to be there in person. But Stephanie is our representative from Hartland Kids Day. She joined us on Monday, February 1st to present to Park Board, and I will let her take it away from here.
Thanks, Kelly. It's been nice working with you on the event throughout the years. I'm just here to present our event that we've been doing. It's our 9th annual event, so it's kind of like a well-oiled machine. We've made improvements every year. Last year we pivoted and did a drive-through type event. We are going back to our regular type event with any considerations we'll need to make in the July timeframe. But we took some feedback from year 2019 and are going to apply those changes this year, because last year is a good year to compare to, because it looks very different. So we still have our normal things we do, and we're just looking to get it approved and answer any questions you might have. I think this is how this works. Our Lake Country Family Fund owner, Erin, is out for a family tragedy, but I have worked with her for 4 years now, 4.5 years, and I've done Hartland Kids Day every year with her.
I think the Kids Day has been huge for Hartland. I think it's been absolutely fantastic, and I think you did a wonderful job presenting at the Park Board. That's
I'd
what
like to
I have
make a
say.
motion that we approve the 2021 Heartland Kids Day event, July 28th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Hartland Kids Day at Nixon Park for 2021 Hartland Kids Day event on July 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Any discussion?
Great event, thank you.
Just making sure we got parking working well with our police department. I know in 2019, and I see that you had it in your memo, there was a lot of things, even with the shuttle, which was a great, great piece to bring in, and so I totally commend that, and I'd be willing myself to help you advocate for the shuttle, but there was still a lot of parking things, and I do remember this board discussing that.
Nixon Park, and so I'd like to, and that was because of the drive-through event, but I'd like to continue that again, even if we go back to the normal, just to really make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. It's a good
Yeah.
event.
We
My
love
kids
doing
enjoy
it.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to affirm the Park and Recreation Board approval of the use of Nixon Park for the Chamber of Commerce Spring Fling 2021 event on June 12th, 2021 from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
All right, hi, this is Kelly Yogerst again, Recreation Director for Village of Hartland. Sorry, my video is not working tonight. But this is a new event that the Chamber has approached the Park and Rec Board for. It's a form of a fundraiser for them. It's scheduled to be held on June 12th, 2021, from 12 to 7. They are planning several events during today. I believe Pat Enters is here to ask and answer any questions that you may have in regards to the event. So I will let him take it from here.
The only thing I'd like to mention right away is it's 9 p.m., not 7 p.m.
I was going to ask about it. I saw that it's
Yeah,
nine
it's
on
important. I don't know
top,
how that got
7
on there. Might have been aired by the park board.
We'll have it in the minutes. Keep you covered.
Park Board Chair.
He's here. So it's 9 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
I apologize. Not all boards can run as the
I
village
understand.
board does.
I
We'll
understand.
work with them.
sorry.
I
didn't
say
mean-
that
Sorry, I didn't want to go there. Sorry. It was run very smoothly, by the way, when we were there last week. So
It was perfect.
yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a new event for us this year. Obviously, the board is very well aware of the chambers, being hit. We're a nonprofit organization. A lot of our revenue is generated through fundraisers. Obviously, last year, we lost a lot of that revenue through some of the events we do. So this is a new event we're going to try with this year. A great community event. A bags tournament is going to be kind of the main thing. One of the other things we're working on, I've already been in contact with Arrowhead High School, is a musical showcase Originally, we were gonna call it Battle of the Bands. The music director at Arrowhead didn't like that name. So he came up more with like a high school music showcase. We want to try and get bands from all the local high schools around the area. And this isn't the extra, whatever, that have tried to form their own band, they're practicing on weekends, they're looking, and he said, as soon as I talked to him about it, he said, I already have a band. So he's forwarded me names and contact information for several of the high schools in the area, who I haven't contacted yet, but we'll start as soon as we hopefully get approval for this event and go forward from there. So the plan is to have a band every play for 45 minutes, swap out, get another band, obviously draw people from outside the area, as well as Hartland itself. So.
Good idea.
Good idea, Pat.
Thanks.
Love it.
What? Wasn't mine. Wait a minute. Am I on camera? Was my idea. No, it wasn't totally my idea. Yeah, it was Donna's. No. So anyway, so that's what it is. And it's obviously going to be, at the beer garden in Nixon Park, which will operate on behalf of the chamber, much like we do for the street dance, which obviously is next on the agenda. Yep. So.
Will you need extra security or police officers there that day?
Here's the thing, it's the first time we're doing it. So, I mean, I had hoped to talk to Chief Misko tonight about it, but obviously he's not here, so it's something we will address with him, and if they feel we do. I mean, at this point, and of course, anytime you do an event in the park, it's all weather related.
Yeah.
So, we don't know if we'll have 100 or 500, but it's definitely something we'll talk to the police department about.
I definitely give kudos to the chamber for continuously finding ways to pivot and do fundraisers and bring the community together. I think it looks like a great opportunity for even just families to be involved in, right?
Well, a lot of, there are chambers that have, dissolved, so we're doing everything we can to keep this one active.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Chamber of Commerce Spring Fling event June 12th at Nixon Park.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the event, the Spring Fling at Nixon Park, hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you, Mr. Enter.
Thank
And
you.
all kidding aside, our park board, especially our park board president, is wonderful.
They are.
It barely passed our board.
Yeah, it was a rough run. The next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to affirm the Park and Recreation Board approval of the use of Nixon Park for the Chamber of Commerce street dance on July 24th, 2021 from 5:30 p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. Obviously, we already said they could sell liquor,
Right.
alcohol, so I hope they
Right.
approve this. Kelly, go ahead.
Okay, hi, this is Kelly Yogers, Recreation Director again for Village of Hartland. Park and Recreation Board approved the park dance or street dance at Nixon Fourth.
The only thing is we are considering a name change, because obviously it's not on Capitol Drive, it's not in the street. So as a board, we are considering a name change. So we don't have that
As long as just
yet.
as many people
Huh?
go on it, as long as it's just as good as it always is, I think everybody will be fine.
I
No matter
agree
what you call
100%. No, that would be the only change. Is we might call it something different.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't have anything else.
I just want to make it clear that the event starts at 5 p.m. We want to set up at 8.
Well, yeah, we want to start setting up early,
Yeah.
like we did last year at
Yeah.
8 a.m.
I just want to make sure that.
So I don't know if
we're
that's,
gonna do
that
it
would
at
have
5.
been an issue. I mean, the event
Considering that
itself
it's in the
doesn't
park and you're
set
not shutting down the street, I think you'll be okay. I'm
So
sure
it
you'll
starts at
work with.
5 or 5:30?
5:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But we start setting up around 8 o'clock in the morning, so.
Yeah, and they made that change on the Lynn's letter, the president.
Great idea again, Pat.
Thanks.
Everybody wants to give all these accolades, but no one's
No,
making a
honestly.
motion.
I'll make a motion to approve,
Thank you.
to approve the Heartland Chamber of Commerce.
It has been
street
moved and seconded to approve the Hartland Chamber of Commerce street dance at Nixon Park on July 21st, 2021 from approximately 5:30 p.m. to approximately 11 p.m. and they will set up as they work that out with our recreation director. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
I know we have one more coming up very quickly. Kelly will have to speak. I'm going to ask the board for a 3-minute recess. I apologize. I'm making the meeting a little longer because it's going so quick. We already did it.
We did that.
We'll get back into, we'll get back rolling again. I appreciate the board's leniency on allowing a recess so early in the meeting. The item that we have now on the agenda is consideration of a motion to affirm the Park and Recreation Board approval of the use of Nixon Park for the Emma Loves Dogs Foundation Paws in the Park event on August 28th, 2021, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Go ahead.
All right, my name is Kelly Yogers. I'm the Recreation Director for the Village of Hartland. Hi, ladies. We have Tammy Morton and Kelly Zimmerman here to present their event. This will be the second year for them, and I will let them take it away.
Yes, thank you. Same thing as last year. This will be our second year running what we plan to do annually. It'll always be the last Saturday of the month as a celebration of Emma's birthday weekend. With the dog walk, band, everything will remain the same. Bounce house, food trucks. Any questions? It was approved by the board last week.
Another great event we have here in Hartland.
Yeah.
It was successful. It was, we think there was about 1,000 people there last year. We're assuming much more, hopefully, this year. But to our knowledge, we didn't have any parking or issues or anything like that.
To our knowledge, there was no issue.
Yeah, it's kind of two sections. A group comes for the walk, and then a different group comes for the evening entertainment, so it was a nice break. And there is the sidewalk sale that will always be the same weekend as us as well, but there is no issues there either, because they end when we start.
I'll make a motion to approve Emma Loves Dogs Foundation to hold paws in the park on August 28th, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to hold paws in the park on August 28th, 2021 in Nixon Park. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Thank you.
And the dogs were kept and cleaned up after,
Yes,
which
that's what we heard.
was a nice thing, so.
Thank you.
The next item we have is a consideration of a motion to approve contractor applications for payment number 1 in the amount of $32,188.37 to C.W. Perpero Inc. for the Nixon Pond dredging project.
So I'll give you an update on this project, that's pond dredging, obviously in Nixon Park. This $32,188.37, it's for erosion control, it's for the tracking pads and dewatering of the pond. So we're satisfied with the work so far. They figured that they're a quarter of ways done on the pond. The last couple days, they've had issues with the hoses are freezing, so they can't finish the dewatering project. They're expected to come in Wednesday morning. They'll peel the rest of the ice off on the south end, and then they'll start getting their bulldozer in there, and they'll start moving everything to the southeast corner so they can haul it out with the machines and the trucks. So staff is recommending the payment of $32,188.37 to C.W. Perpero for the work completed in Nixon Park Pond. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve contractor's application for payment number 1 in the amount of $32,188.37 to C.W. Perpero Inc. for the Nixon Pond dredging.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that payment to C.W. Perpero for the work they've completed so far on the Nixon Pond dredging project. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. The next item we have is discussion and possible action, hopeful action, on village board or village administrators' goals for 2021. I do want to add that these goals did come from discussions and a working session, so to speak, from the committee of the whole meeting.
Is the listing there one through the priority? You have to do 1 and then do 2, number 3 and 4.
Allow the
Or was that just a listing of, just so they could identify?
I think that's just a listing. I don't think there was discussion of ranking, so I think this is just the goals.
I did call.
Some had deadlines, so.
I talked to the
it's
village
self-explanatory.
administrator today, as he's talked to all of us at committee of the whole. And unless he says otherwise, and I think it'd be appropriate if there's something else that he feels confident that these are the goals that he can accomplish. These were the goals set forth from each one of us. Each one of us brought one of these specific goals, but I really admire his willingness and drivenness to say, no, I can get all of these done, put them all on there. You don't have to separate them into this, that, or the other. I'm going to do it all. I feel confident, and hopefully you guys do as well, that he's going to lead the way. You still have the floor, sorry. I didn't mean to hijack it.
Oh, I
Any
would just like,
questions or anything?
no, I just wanted to commend the administrator for putting this together so quickly, and turning it around and being able to, understand like all of our conversation that we were coming at you with, and be able to disseminate it and place it into kind of a nice format. I think you captured a breadth of all the things that we talked about. So, well done.
Good.
I agree.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the goals set forth by the board and the village administrator for the village administrator in 2021.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve this list of goals for the administrator. Any discussion? One thing I want to say is I commend this board. This is the first time that the board has put together a list like this for an administrator, or at least that I've seen or I've heard of here in Hartland. I really commend every single one of the people that are working towards this, and the administrator. But right now I'm really saying to the board, not only does it set things in the right direction and lets people know the priorities of the village, I hope the residents of the village really understand how hard it is to get 7 people to agree on 9 goals. That is a very important direction that we're heading. I think it'll be great for the village, but I don't think that should go unsaid. And also, I think it should be commended that the village administrator said, yeah, all right, thank you for giving direction. That's what we're going to. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. That list of goals will become part of, obviously, the review packet. And then, so we're done with the review packet that's been going on for 2 months, Mr. Rhodey. And now we have announcements. Mr. Felkner.
Good evening. I just want to give you a little heads up. DPW will be out cleaning fire hydrants tomorrow because a lot of them are buried. I'm asking residents if they have one in their front yard, and if they could assist us and shovel it out, it'd be great. It'd definitely help the fire department. And also, the water department, we had our first water main break yesterday, which wasn't good up on West Capitol. It took about 6 hours. We had 4 guys out on these elements for 6 hours, I'm sorry. It was at 311 West Capitol. It was a tricky one, but they got it done. I was proud of them. Thank you.
Great job. Tell them thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it in that weather.
That is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that when it's this cold is when they break. Yeah. It's rough.
Right. Yeah,
Chief.
I was the one that found that water main break and called them.
Oh, all right.
It's like, hey, there's a lot of water running down my street. Why? Couple things. Last Thursday we had our vaccine clinic. In talking with the county chiefs last week, that was the last first dose clinic in the county. County Health has decided they're going to start ramping up and giving the vaccines. They're planning on 1,000 people a day at the Expo Center. So anybody interested, go to the county website. They have sign-ups in there. They have a constant contact thing too. You can sign up for them. They give you messages once a week from the executive. So we have one more coming up on the 25th, which will be the second round for those people that got the first dose, and then pretty much the fire departments are done at that point. Unless the county comes up and says, hey, we got millions of doses, let's start giving them out. So we're waiting to hear on that. Our truck is back. It was a wonderful 10-hour ride back from South Dakota. but it was been out 3 times already. So we had one call on Friday, the day after we got it back. Didn't have to use it, luckily, thank gosh. And it was out this weekend in Brookfield. Again, we got called late there, so the only one that had to work was my division chief of fire, which was DC Peter Walker. So he was in charge of the rehab, making sure that the guys were coming out and going to rehab in the buses. So when he got back, somebody had posted a Delsman transport bus on his locker. So that's back. We've been doing a lot of cleaning out at the station, a lot of stuff that's taking up space that we don't need. So I'll be making a list and bringing it to Ryan and Tim, and then probably coming to you to see if we can sell it and put some money back in the coffers on things that we don't use anymore. So other than that, we're moving forward. Call volume's been up. We were up a few calls in January, so
and why it was gone?
They upgraded the APU, which is it's called a Green Star system. So if we're on the scene and the big engine doesn't need to be running and sucking lots of fuel, this other engine kicks in. We can run all the lights. The only thing it doesn't run is the pump. So if we're not pumping water or anything, this engine kicks on and then runs all the lights for us, and anything else we need, our extrication equipment that's electric, and so all that works. We were having some small issues with it where sometimes it was kicking on, sometimes it wasn't, and then it would kick on and we couldn't get it to kick off. So we asked them to upgrade it. They gave us a really exorbitant price. So we said, no, we won't do anything with it for now. And then they came back and said, well, we can do the upgrade for this much. And our association picked up the cost, the half cost. So there was no taxpayer money involved in that. And then there were some small paint issues that we had been finding, and we took it out there, and they ended up actually repainting both sides from the cab back under warranty. So, and then did a few other things for us that we had asked them about, so.
Awesome.
That's cool.
So it looks brand new again.
Cool.
awesome.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Chief.
you.
Does anybody else have announcements?
I have one just to follow up to the president's comments the last couple meetings. So this weekend, the Sleep Out for the homeless is happening. So I just wanted to do a kudos. There's 2 Boy Scout troops that are also going to be involved in supporting their efforts this year. So if you're interested, February 12th, the president has mentioned that before, February 12th to February 14th. And so you can support them by coming down with monetary donations or canned goods of any sort, or just simply a hot cup of coffee would be helpful too. So, but the 2 Boy Scouts is great.
Nice. Anybody else for comments or announcements? But a lot of other people, including people that are sitting on each side of me, saying this over the next summer. I'm really happy to see so many events, even first-time events, going on in Hartland, not only because it benefits this community and the small businesses and the organizations like the Chamber, and does make a huge difference on how much comes back to the community from people that support the businesses, and it is the local small businesses, people that are members of your Chamber of Commerce, people that are members of organizations like the Rotary and even Kiwanis. Those are the people that put money, even are in this together, and the businesses have been hit very hard with COVID and all that. Without Summerfest going on and those other things, I encourage people to please go to the local businesses, support your local organizations. At the end of the day, we are the ones that are all in this together, and it's extremely important, and it benefits everyone so much more when we keep it close to home. So I just want to stress that, and I hope that, take once a month, go to one of the small businesses, go to one you haven't been to before, but please continue to support the organizations right here in Hartland. Let's keep it close to home.
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Second. It's been moved and second that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye. This meeting's adjourned.